All right, so we are going to the big purpose for this presentation is really collaboration, openness to fresh ideas, and give something new a try. We are in the midst of a tremendous flux of how we educate, how our classrooms look, how our lecture halls look, and there's a lot of unknowns out there. So a big portion of this is just throwing ideas out there, opening collaboration, talking about fresh ways to do things. So we're going to break some things out here. If you have any questions in the chat window, Leah can interrupt me at any point in time. I do have notes on this one, so I can kind of catch back up. So anyhow, without further ado, we will get started. So my name is Jade Uncle. Thank you for joining us. I'm Vice President of Business Development here at Online Marketing. Just real quick, we are a 32-year-old independent manufacturers rep firm. We have some exceptionally great manufacturers that we have the privilege of introducing to the region. And with that comes a lot of really great synergies between many of our manufacturers. They all have unique features and unique benefits, and we can really piece a lot of those together in order to create some great solutions. So this particular one is technology on the move, the art of creating effective, efficient, and relocatable learning environments. So this is our basic roadmap. We are going to explore modern and mobile audiovisual furniture, and we're also going to discover purpose design technologies that travel well. So hopefully no one still views a portable AV cart as something flimsy, something old, something with a CRT on top, strapped down, a VCR unit that probably has all of its cables unplugged in the back. So this is hopefully not what we are thinking about when we think of modern furniture, but something more akin to this. So introducing Salamander Commercial Designs, or entering Salamander Commercial Designs. Salamander offers robust, reliable, and as you can see, very sexy mobile AV solutions that are absolutely a perfect backdrop to begin integrating your technology needs. Oop. I passed up a slide. Maybe I didn't. Sorry. So Salamander, I must have hit a slide there. I meant to say, give a little bit of history of Salamander, but we'll just move on. So we have three basic functions of carts. We have electric lift, we have electric lift plus tilt, and finally we have a fixed height solution. So as a company who seems to think of everything, Salamander even built a road case to store not only the cart, but also a display that is on your cart. So multiple different solutions and ways to deploy a system. So let's look at some benefits of our first option, which is the electric lift cart or the electric assist cart. We have large handles that we can maneuver our display and our entire system around. We have a fully adjustable motor control, including a wireless option. So there is a tethered remote on top here. And then there's also a wireless remote option. We have wire management that we can have anything connected to our display, cameras, soundbar, can go down inside this track so nothing gets caught, nothing gets crimped. We have high performance casters that are built for not only plain hardwood floors or terrazzo floors, but also for commercial grade carpet. So it can roll over carpet and down hallways very, very easily. We have a compact telescoping design, and we have a full complement of accessories. And a couple of those accessories that we see here is a keyboard shelf up top, keyboard or laptop shelf, and then also available rack units down here with a cover. So if we have a network switch, if we have a DSP, if we have a myriad of different products, we can make sure that those are secured on the car and secured inside a case so that they cannot be tampered with or damaged. Trying to move forward here. Sorry, it seemed to have stuck. There we go. Perfect use case for electric lift assist is, as you can see, we have a very modern space. We have seating that is a little bit higher than a standard table. If we were to rule a standard cart up to this, some of these people might have a difficult time viewing the content. With this, they have a very minimal effort on the user's behalf. They can use the tethered remote or a wireless remote to finally adjust the display up and down for the most optimum use in both interacting with a display or with having your audience be able to see content. Here we have a fixed height. So our fixed height option offers not only simplicity, but also an incredible amount of storage and mounting space. So all areas are vented. So if we have a warm PC with a Teams or a Zoom room, thermal buildup is not going to be a concern. We also have a plethora of accessories, including electric and Cat 6 reels. So let me switch over here. So down here, number 8, you're going to see a reel at the bottom. We also have keyboard and laptop shelves, like I mentioned before, and we also have USB camera and sound bar mounting options. You don't see that here, but in some of the other images, you will be able to see that. So for the fixed height one, just maximum capacity of electronic equipment that we can put in. Everything is vented with a large amount of accessories that we can add on to the system to make it the most user-friendly experience as possible. Some of you may have not heard of Salamander before today, but here are a couple notable names you may recognize who have partnered with Salamander. Here's a couple biggies. So Cisco and Microsoft. Why I bring up these particularly is Microsoft has their Surface Hub 2, which are heavy and large displays. And then Cisco also has a myriad of WebEx displays that we can put on. So both of these companies have partnered specifically with Salamander to provide extremely robust, very nice mobile solutions for their interactive displays. Here's a couple additional partnerships. I'm sure that you recognize at least 60 or 70% of the names on this list. Again, all other manufacturers that have partnered with Salamander. And then something that is really, really interesting is these are all companies that have relied on Salamander to assist with global deployments. So again, some very, very huge names there that are utilizing Salamander, both their carts and their credenzas in worldwide deployments. So looking past Salamander's standard offerings, we see truly customizable solutions that offer the aesthetic and the feature sets you want. We also offer fixed installation solutions. Like I say, give us a wall with power and we will give you a room. Let me change the size of my font here. So we offer multiple solutions for varying size of attendees with minimal impact on the room due to our extruded and extremely strong aluminum credenza chassis. So these solutions will save time and save money with limiting your construction costs and also with the quick fashion that they are able to be deployed. Not to mention, they look great and they are purpose-built for AV integration. So Salamander has a couple websites. One is Salamander Designs, but the one we are more interested in is going to be salamandercommercial.com. So if you would like to see this and any other of the systems, feel free to go directly to the website. Questions? I will take just a brief second, and if there's any questions in the chat, Leah can jump in. If not, we will move forward. So building on, so what's next? From here, what we want to do is look at 3 different types of environment that lend themselves to the possibility of being mobile solutions. And remember, there are always more. I'm going to go over 3 that I've just brought up and been very interested in. But as this webinar is really built to help open up thought and creativity and new concepts, these are just 3, but there are going to be many, many more that we can add on to our list of possible mobile solutions or mobile rooms or environments that we can build on top of our Salamander system. So active learning has many different names, but the concept remains the same. Let me quote David Price from the University of Michigan. Active learning is generally defined as any instructional method that engages students in the learning process. In short, active learning requires students to do meaningful learning activities and think about what they are doing. So let's take a second look at this room setup, and apologize for the blurry image, but it's something that I had that I wasn't copywritten. So we can see that this room is built for collaboration. We have a movable cluster theme for our seating. We have technology and displays everywhere. Very fresh, very collaborative environment, makes you want to be creative. So let's start with a movable mobile cart. Everything else is movable, so why not make our displays movable as well? Let's add a smart display, which we'll discuss in a little bit. And now we will add a Buyant Medina server. So Buyant Medina server is a network appliance that offers 7 virtual meeting rooms with device-to-device screen share and smart display integration. So this scenario is a classroom is broken up into 2 separate research groups, 1 and 2. They are able to collaborate and share content device to device. So we have 2 different rooms. So the people in the red bubble can share amongst themselves, and the people in the yellow bubble can share amongst themselves. If we add a mobile cart and a smart display with the Medina app installed, you can now share all the content with the larger group or with an audience. Since our Medina server has 7 sessions, we could break up our room into 7 separate groups, or we could offer this functionality into 7 different spaces, or we can mix and match. Another way that we could creatively use the server is by carving out a particular room, password it, and offer it to our support team as a means of interface. We do have a couple alternative models of Medina called the Medina Hub and the Hub Plus. In those 2 different versions, we can enter into something called Auditorium mode, which will share the video input with up to 150 participants on their own mobile device. So really great thing to know, and also it's a really great segue into our next topic, which is the portable auditorium. So do we have any questions about the Medina server or any of the other options? No?
No, Jay, there's no questions yet.
Cool. Thank you. So portable auditorium, so let's move on to this. We can also maybe just reference this as a larger classroom scenario. So let's start this conversation with placing a large 90-inch display onto a mobile cart, which is fantastic all by itself. So the XL version of the cart can withstand up to 400 plus pounds and a 90-inch display. There's an 85-inch display in this conference room, which is probably a little bit large, and you can see it a good distance. So the fact that we were able to put a 90-inch display on this just opens up the possibilities of moving to larger, maybe even divisible spaces, larger classrooms and lecture areas. Enter BIAMP Crowd Mic Audience Participation System. So Crowd Mic is a very simplistic but extremely useful in lecture and large group scenarios. Questions can easily be asked via text input that will show on the moderator's app. And then the moderator will have the capability of displaying those questions onto that 90-inch display via the HDMI output. Next, we offer polling questions for breaking the ice, determining if an assignment was completed, or asking what the weather is doing outside. If I'm a professor that's been inside all day and never seen the light of day. So polling questions can be pre-created, or they can also be set up ad hoc as needed. Lastly, and maybe most importantly for large rooms and lecture halls, is the fact that we offer voice lift capabilities for anyone who has a smartphone, which is everybody. The moderator will see and can accept a request to speak, which he will then enable a toggle microphone function with the participant. This toggle on-off microphone function is enabled as long as no one ends it. So the moderator is able to end it or the participant is able to end it. But if we have a lecturer in there that is having a really great collaborative session with one of the audience members that's way in the back, they can collaborate back and forth. They can have a great conversation or argument, whatever you see fit. And that won't shut off until either one of them end the conversation. So hence the term crowd mic. So a quick look at the back tells us that crowd mic has been built to interface with any environment, and with two separate network connection cards, flexibility and security is ensured. A really big thing that recently came out is our QR code, which enables reliable connectivity without the use of broadcast traffic on our network. This is huge for university and corporate clients who have IP pools that students can are assigned to or will be logged into. The original version of this came out with multicast in order to find the unit from the app. And it quickly became apparent that university and corporate clients were not going to be okay with that. So what BIAMP did is they offered either the QR code and or an IP address at the bottom that there is a search function on the app. You can take a snapshot quick of the QR code and it will connect you directly with this unit. So that is absolutely great added functionality and makes this a real deployable system in a university campus. As we had talked before, there are a couple different versions of Medina. There is Medina Hub and then there's Hub Plus. And this chart just kind of breaks down our mode options that we can have. Small and medium rooms with 12 users and up to 6 presenters. Large space, which is up to 24 users can be connected and up to 4 people can present. Or an auditorium mode like we're talking about here. We can have 1 presenter and up to 150 participants will receive whatever the image is on that 90-inch display on their own personal device. So if they have vision issues or if they are working on assignment and they need to keep track of what's happening on the display, they're able to view whatever's happening coming through the Medina up to my personal display. So with the Medina Hub, Hub Plus, and Server, these all combined offer extremely flexible options for any of your rooms. And as these are networked devices or are portable network devices that can go behind a display, it gives you lots and lots of options of how you can interface and collaborate with a small to large group. So no questions, I'm assuming, so I am going to roll on. The next thing that we're going to talk about is hybrid instruction. So hybrid instruction, according to the University of Alabama, hybrid instruction combines face-to-face classes with synchronous online learning to allow social distancing and provides some of the benefits of a face-to-face course. The key word here is some. Obviously, in on-premises instruction versus remote instruction leaves some to be desired. But what we're going to do is help bridge that gap. So our first attempt to make remote participants feel welcome is by offering every benefit of CrowdMic, which we just discussed, to students no matter where they are in the world. CrowdMic Online, which is the diagram that we see here, is a cloud service that allows remote students to participate in polling, to text questions, and to even verbally respond using their smartphones. This way, on-premises students who are not logged into our Zoom or our Teams meeting for the class have equal participation with those who are remote. Secondly, the same kind of scenario, let me click here. So secondly, we have the same type of scenario with Medina Hub. So as you recall, we were able to do device-to-device sharing. As you have someone who is on a Zoom call, so let's say we are in a dorm room and we have a collaborative session going on between multiple people, we can activate one of our Zoom accounts and now share not only content, but also associated cameras of the other users inside the same area with whomever is working with us remotely on the Zoom or Teams call. And then vice versa, as whomever is on the far side shares their content and camera with the other Zoom participant, they are able to share their display with everyone else connecting. So this does a couple things. It allows for collaborations to ad hoc add users without everyone having to jump on a Zoom call, and also can help us reduce the amount of Zoom calls and internet that we are utilizing in our dorm or in our commons area. So some hybrid instruction add-ons. We also represent Liberty and Audio-Technica and a plethora of others. So there are a myriad of USB cameras, both shelf and ceiling mounted. There are wireless microphone systems that we can add on to the back, more particularly a wireless boundary microphone. So as we are going to start a meeting with hybrid instruction, we can take a couple boundary microphones, set them in a couple places in our room, in our portable event space, and we can have really great two-way collaboration between the far end and the near side, and pack all of it away, store our hybrid portable instruction room somewhere, and bring it out or transport it to another building whenever we need it. Some other options or add-ons is a wired and wireless discussion system. So discussion systems enable probably the most intelligible means of communication, both on premises and to the far side. as it places a microphone and a speaker in front of every participant and allows really great two-way communication between someone who is on the other side of the instruction and someone who is in or on premises. Another great thing that we can add on is by a company called Listen Technologies, and it's called Listen Talk. So this is an ADA and a two-way communication system. So as we have someone who is instructing, both someone locally and someone on the far end, they're able to put on a headset, and as they speak, it's going to be sent to the far end, and they can hear it very clearly as they have a microphone. But then anyone who is on the near side who may need to be socially distant and also has any sort of hearing difficulties would be able to place one of these units on and be able to hear everything that's going on. The benefit with this being a two-way communication is if we need to really socially distance, or if we didn't, if this is a portable environment and we didn't have microphones to reinforce the space, students would be able to ask questions through their own system, and the instructor would be able to hear it, and also all the students on the far side would be able to hear it. So this would, again, much like the discussion system, but in a slightly more personal, portable way, allow for everyone who is on the near side and everyone who is on the far side to be part of the communication and have a very open form of discussion, along with having the ADA compliance.